In this lesson, we will focus on communication within the office, specifically getting to know your colleagues. This improves the office atmosphere and it helps to make everyone feel like part of the team. American business emphasizes teamwork. Projects are assigned to working groups or teams. Department personnel are expected to work together. Here is a business file containing expressions which allow you to welcome your colleagues to your department or to joint projects. Welcoming new colleagues. Welcome to Information Systems, Samira. Let me introduce you to our team. Byung-chul, welcome to Human Resources. I'd like to take you round to meet your co-workers. Elke, welcome to our department. Please come in and meet our other project leaders. Kyung-hee, I'd like to introduce you to the others of our Procom project team. Sandrine, please let me introduce you to the Human Resources Department staffers. Alex, this is your WAN work group. Let me introduce you to the members of your team. Now WAN equals Wide Area Network. That's computerese. Chantel, it's a pleasure to have you join our department. I want to introduce you to the people you will be working with. Let's practice welcoming colleagues to our units and preparing to introduce them. Here's an example. The situation: welcome Vincenzo to your personnel department and prepare to introduce him. You. Your response might be, Vincenzo, welcome to the personnel department. Come in and meet your colleagues. Or here's another twist. Welcome to HRD, Vincenzo. Let me introduce you to the team. Remember, HRD is our Human Resource Department? Okay. All right, let's try this practice. Situation number 1. Welcome Vincenzo to your personnel department. Prepare to introduce him. You. Vincenzo, welcome to the personnel department. Come in and meet your colleagues. Or, welcome to HRD, Vincenzo. Let me introduce you to the team. Of course, in this exercise, all of your welcoming words will vary from mine, but compare them with mine to make sure they're accurate. Number 2. Situation: Eliane has just arrived to begin work as a team leader in the IS department. Welcome her and prepare to introduce her to your colleagues. You. You might say, Eliane, this is your IS work group. Let me introduce you to the members of your team. Remember, IS stands for Information Systems. Number 3. Here's the situation. Monique has just transferred to the accounting department. Greet her and introduce her to the other staffers of your department. You. Monique, it's a pleasure to have you join our department. I want to introduce you to the people you'll be working with. Number 4. Here's the situation. This is Christoph's first day in your international sales division. Introduce him to the Eastern European Sales Department staffers. You. Well, you could say, Christoph, welcome to our Division of International Sales. Please come in and meet your colleagues in the Eastern European Sales Department. Number 5. Situation: Irvin arrives in your departmental office of customer service. Make him welcome. Explain that you want to introduce him to his co-workers. You. This is an easy one. You could say, Irvin, welcome to customer service. I'd like to take you around to meet your co-workers. That was a great practice. Thank you for your participation. Now, repeat that practice if you feel unsure about any of the situations. Let's move to another area of interaction with new colleagues. This is an important topic. It's simple, but it is sometimes touchy. Touchy means delicate. Remember our lesson on delicate communication. Well, the section is related. Here we deal with learning or eliciting or drawing out background information about your coworkers or colleagues because it's important. It's important to know what they do or what their occupation or job is, whom or for which department they work for, etc. But, and this is important, it is also very, very necessary to ask for this information diplomatically. Let's look at a business file, which should help. Asking for colleague backgrounds. Direct for occupation. What do you do? What's your business? Or what's your occupation? Whom do you work for? Direct for firm or company. Which firm do you work for? Or which company do you work for? Who's your employer? Direct for division, department, or supervisor within the company. What division or department are you in? Or what division do you work for? Are you in purchasing? Who's your supervisor? Or who's your boss? Indirect for occupation. Do you mind telling me what your occupation is? Would you mind telling me what you do for a living? What line of work are you in? And indirect for department, firm, or company. Do you mind telling me whom you work for? Or do you mind telling me the name of your firm? Would you mind telling me whom you work with? Would you mind telling me which division or department you work with? Can you tell me which department you're in? Or which department you're associated with? Can you tell me the name of your company? And extra polite for occupation, firm, department, or supervisor. If it's not intrusive, could you tell me what you do? Or, if it's not presumptuous, could you tell me what you do for a living? Might I ask whom you work for? And finally, may I inquire who your supervisor is? Remember, always use polite forms with people who are older or whose positions are, or might be, higher than yours. And if you want to be safe, always use indirect or polite inquiries. And that is true about all of our business file suggestions. All right, let's use these expressions in a practice. Here's an example situation and a query. Query means inquiry or question. The situation: you sit next to a distinguished-looking woman on your flight back to JFK. Ask her what her line of work is. You might say, if it's not presumptuous, could you tell me what your line of work is? Or, might I ask what your line of work is? Or, might I ask what you do for a living? Now, incidentally, your responses to the answers you receive usually provide thanks, of course, and a little information about yourself. For example, oh, thank you, and I'm with Patterson Incorporated. Or, oh, that must be very interesting, I'm a systems analyst with Streeter Corporation, etc. Okay, here we go. You will see the situation on the screen. I'll read it and pause for your response. Number 1, the situation: you sit next to a distinguished-looking woman on your flight back to JFK. Ask her what her line of work is. You might say, if it's not presumptuous, could you tell me what your line of work is? Situation number 2. You meet a person at the bar during a commercial software demonstration at a local convention center. Find out what his/her occupation is. You. Do you mind telling me what your occupation is? Situation number 3. You are at the company picnic buffet table, and the person next to you looks familiar. She obviously works for the same company, but which division or which department? You. Well, you could say something like, "Hi, I'm Rebecca Swift. Can you tell me which department you're with?" And situation number 4, you get on an elevator at company headquarters and you see a familiar face of a superior, a director, or maybe vice president. You've met, but you don't remember which department or division she's with. Be polite when you ask for information. You. Hello, I'm Indira Shireen from purchasing. We've met, but I confess I don't recall which department you're with.